Look at there. So that just even, that even looks better. There you go. Hold on. You're muted. There you go. Nope, I still can't hear you. Hold on. Are you still muted? Can you hear me? Maybe someday. Well, you're not muted. Hang on, I'm going to mute you and then unmute you. No, I can't unmute you. Okay, try it again. Try unmuting one more time. That's weird. What just happened? The picture is so much better. You were real pixelated before, and you look great now. But I don't know why we can't hear you. I don't know what you're saying, but okay. When it came up, it had a little X next to it. I've not noticed that before. Is there a no, and now it says, now it does say that you're muted. Hang on, can I unmute you? No. It's saying that I can't unmute you, which is weird because usually, let me see, make sure I don't have something set weird. Go under participants sometimes. It's, well, see that, whatever you just did, that should have made it work. Go under, down at the bottom where it has the microphone. Let's see if there's something there. That's a cool picture. If you click the little arrow next to the microphone, there's a thing that says audio settings. I don't know if maybe there's something you need to click there.
No.
Yes, now I hear you.
All right.
What was it?
I had to go to my settings and select unmute. It's back in the settings. Sorry.
See, I know, but that's just it. There's always like some hidden thing that you don't think about having to do.
Yes.
Hey, but the picture is way better here than it will be.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so this is good.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm so sorry. I
Now
promised
I'm
you
nervous.
I promised you 10 minutes, and now it's taking 10 minutes to get you situated.
Yes. So
okay, there's no reason to be nervous. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk just a little bit about your company, about how you make what you make. I'm going to brag on how good it is. I'm going to, like, I can reach right here and get some of it because I'm in my shop. And so we'll just talk about it for a few minutes, and then you can go back to making, you said you had a busy day, so we're going to let you get back to that.
Okay.
First off, is it Treva Randall? Am I saying the wrong name?
Yeah, that's correct now.
Okay. All right. Got it. Because I think I've been calling you Watson. So I'll fix that. Sorry.
It's okay. So, let's see. So I've been living here in Southwest Virginia now for 15 years since I've been with Emory. So I've only arrived here in this area for just Emory and Henry.
Oh, really?
So I came here specifically for the job. And I moved here from South Carolina.
South Carolina? Oh.
Yes. I was working at the Citadel.
No kidding.
Yes. So I done the Citadel for 3 years. And then I was in just a crazy marriage. I wanted out. And I decided that I need to relocate was the best bet. So I done that. But I never imagined that I would land here in Southwest Virginia. I was thinking I was going to be on the coast of where the beach is, because I'm from San Diego. I'm a native Californian.
Wow. How did I not know this? We've never had this conversation.
I know. My ex-husband was in the Navy, and that's how we met. And my dad is also a Vietnam vet. And he was the one gentleman that my dad approved of because they were both from the same state. So it was kind of cool that I moved to South Carolina and I have family in Johns Island. And that's how I came with the name Bohicket Apothecary later. Originally,
tell us about that name.
Okay, so Bohicket, my dad is from Johns Island. He lives right off of Bohicket Road. Bohicket is parallel with Guatemala Island and Kiowa. So, have you heard of the Angel Oak Tree? I know you heard of Angel
I've been there.
Not too far from Bohicket Apothecary. Sorry. Bohicket Road.
Yeah.
And my dad actually grew up in an area called Mullet. It's called Mullet Hall. It was a Mullet Hall plantation. Now it's a subdivision because they pretty much making all those changes in that area.
Right.
But still have a ton of family there. And I'm just really glad to be connected that way. And
well, gosh, yeah. And it's a cool name. And I tried to Google it and I was trying to figure out. So, because it's a Native American word, I think, or not?
Yes, it is. It is. Mm-hmm.
But you picked it because it was like where your dad lived.
It is where he's from, the area.
Yeah.
So that's how I came up with the name. Before it was Diva Treva, because you used to call me Diva Treva, and I was like, I had to come up with something. And it kind of, and I was like, well, wait a minute, I'm getting too old for this. I'm almost 50. So I'm like, no, I got to make a change.
It's all the more reason to be a diva if you're 50. Thank you very much. It becomes more important to be a diva as you get older. I promise you right now. Well, and I am flattered that you're using that. That tickles me because that does make me happy. So you applied for jobs like within Sodexo, and that's how you ended up here. You didn't.
Yes, and
I'm feeling a little offended that you didn't choose us.
Well, and you know what? When I came up here, so driving up here took I-26 to 77, and I'm like, when it gave me that turn to 77. I'm like, where am I going? And then it was 81. All I seen was cows and horses and hills and greenery and trees. And I'm like, oh, it is the country. And when I drove on campus, I'm like, dear Lord, and this is the God honest truth. I prayed to God and I was like, if I don't get this, it'll be okay. This will be just a practice interview. And I know you may have something better for me. So I was like, and then I just make it a weekend retreat because it was on a Friday. And so, but I got the position. I interviewed with our DM, Mike Greenfield, first,
Mm-hmm.
and then Pam Gorley, and then I sat in office with Robin, and I got the position.
Robin.
And Morrison, the President Morrison's wife,
oh
had me in the
yeah,
office. And so I was
that's
able to
funny.
meet her and had chatted with her, and I heard that she liked me as well. But
so it was just meant to be that you were stuck with cows and horses and hills.
yes.
Yeah, it's kind of our slogan. We have cows and horses and hills. Yeah.
So yeah, and so when I moved up here, 5 kids. They're all middle school and under, and me and my ex-husband at the time, we didn't make it. He didn't like it here. We thought we would try to make it work, but I knew in my heart it wasn't going to work. But for the sake of the children, I thought we'd try.
Sure.
So ended up just being me and my 5 kids here, and my mind was, I'm just going to be single, I'm going to raise my children, I'm going to work. And then I got a little bored, and I'm like, I need to get into something. And I used to travel to Johnson City because I feel like that was the nearest city.
Yeah. We feel the same way. Don't tell Bristol.
I would go to Pier 1 Imports just to go get a candle, and that was my treat to myself. I'll do that, and I'll maybe go grab a lunch. But I came across a soap woman, a soap maker, and she had a business that was into a home. Her name is Melanie Teagarden. She's a soap maker in Johnson City.
Her name is not Teagarden. What a great name.
Yes. And she has a wonderful soul. I know she was ill for a minute, but I think she's back to making soap again. But I asked her to teach me how to make soap. And of course, her response was, I can't, teach you, because that is something soap makers do pride themselves. They don't want to share that craft because they want you to come up with your own. So I respected that. But she said, go ahead and make your soap and then bring it back to me and I'll critique it. So at that point, I was already making candles, but I started teaching myself how to make soap.
How did you teach yourself how to make soap? I mean,
I went to the Washington County, right here in Abingdon Library, picked up some books, got some recipes. Back then, and this is 2005, there's blogs. Remember how blogs were a thing?
Oh yeah, that was a thing. Yeah.
So there were so many blogs out there that give you like tutorials and recipes to play with, and of course everything's by percentages, and you can break down the percentages with grams or ounces. And and then there's like a formula that is called like a calculator, like a lye calculator or a soap making calculator. You can plug in your percentages that way, and then it will create a recipe for you. So
is it about getting the balance right?
You got to have the balance. Yes, it's because it's all chemistry. You don't want to add too much lye because your soaps can be lye heavy. You don't want to add too much oils, because then that's oil kind of surface to that product. And then you have that greasy feel on. Right. So there's a lot that goes into it. But she looked at my soaps, and she's like, I think you're in the right direction. And I was still a good customer of hers for almost a year before I just went out there. Then I started doing these little craft shows, like Independence. It's they had a molasses, I think, fair.
Every town has a festival around here. It cracks me up. Cranberries, molasses.
Yes. And it was different for me. This whole area was different for me because it's not as diverse as I'm used to. I'm from San Diego, and San Diego is very diverse.
Right.
And then I go to Charleston. I'm like, oh, there's so many people like me.
And then you come here where there are cows and horses and hills.
And then I go to the mountain area. People are in overall coveralls and.
Oh yeah, Independence. Oh yeah, because at least on campus you get some diversity. That's true. Not a lot of diversity in Independence. Yeah.
So I'm this only Black woman up there with a little table, a photo table. I have my soap and my candles, and surprisingly I've done really well. They were
good.
Yes. And then I had a young lady, and she went to King College, I believe, but she worked at the wine store here in Abingdon.
At Catbirds.
Right. And she approached me, and she was like, you need to go to the farmer's market at Abingdon. She was my link to the farmer's market. Before, the farmer's market was at the police station. And let me know if I'm talking way too much.
No, this is good.
All
I'm
right.
tickled because you were like, oh, I don't have anything to say. You got a great story. You
Okay.
go.
So it was at the farmer's market was at the police station, and that was the year that they were building the pavilion, and they were accepting new applicants. So I applied, and I didn't think I was going to get in it because before then, every Saturday, oh Lord, sorry,
but great picture.
Oh, do you see that?
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
That's how it works. When the camera goes away, we get to see that cool picture, so you can do whatever you want to.
Okay. So I was at the dusty tobacco warehouse flea market every Saturday.
Oh, yuck.
For the longest, because I was like, how do I get out there with my soaps and my candles? Yeah. And I done that. And
that was down, the warehouse is down on, like, off of 19?
Yes. It was really, I think it was kind of booming then. It was okay. But then I can tell it was kind of going downhill. But yeah, I would do that. And then I would occasionally go to Jonesboro flea market.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I drove all the way there, and I'll do a Saturday. This is how loyal, this is how I was. And it began with making ends meet, because at the time, I wasn't getting any support from my husband. It was just me and my kids. Wow. So I dedicated every weekend, and I felt like it was a side hustle to just kind of, and then I'm a graduate from Johnson & Wales. So on top of all my other financial responsibilities, at the time it was a car note and rent and everything else, kids, that was my means of making ends meet. Because I was fresh out of college pretty much. So the salary wasn't as great. I was still considered like an entry-level salary. Right. And then just over years, of course, that it grew 15 years. So the little increase that you get, I kind of earned that. Yeah, but,
you totally earned that. You kind of did. You totally did.
So, yes.
Yeah. So you were doing a lot of festivals and stuff. Did the farmers market turn out to be like a good thing for you? Was it a constant, consistent income for you?
So it started to grow. So when I was at the market, there was another woman there. She was making soaps, but they were melt and pour. I was the only, and then there was a farmer, and his wife made soaps for him, and they were pretty basic. So we were all different. One was a melt and pour, the other one, his was pretty basic, and I wanted to consider mine's more of an artisan soap.
All right, let's talk about that. What is a melt and pour versus like what you do?
So it's a product. It's already a soap. So looks like it's a glycerin soap. They all are glycerin. Cold processed soap has glycerin in it. Melt and pour, they pretty much take the glycerin out of that product so that you can take it and melt it down. It looks clear. And then you add color to it. You can microwave it. You can put it in a 3D mold, and there's no curing time. All you're waiting for, so it's already cured soap.
It just has to set up, basically.
And I did that. And but it's a great craft for someone who just maybe do something with their children, or something for fun. It could be maybe you want to do a Christmas mold to have it your guest bathroom. Right.
Yeah. Like if I wanted to make some little Scottish Terrier soaps, I could just do melt and pour. Yeah. But what you do, you actually make the soap.
I make the soap. So I use the actual lye and the water, of course. So you choose your liquid. So you can choose goat milk, water. You can even choose like a vegan milk, like a nut milk. You can use beer. You can use wine. So
that's right, because I gave you some beer one time. I forgot about that.
Yes. And those were my original shampoo bars. It was those beer, using the beer.
That's funny. Because I had some sort of blow up in the back of the car and had to do something with it. Yes, I remember that now. Yeah.
Yes. And so, and back to the farmer's market. So there was a farmer there, and he was making soaps, but they used animal fat. I was the only one that made a cold process that was strictly like vegan.
Nice.
And cold process is much nicer because you have the ability to swirl. If you like to swirl, you can add colors, and then they last. And with cold process, when you add your essential oils or your fragrance oils, they stick. You don't smell the animal from the bar of soap.
I don't think I knew they put animal fat in soap.
Back in the day, that lard was their fat. Tallow,
yeah,
is because it makes it a nice hard bar. And then you have women that a lot mature than me. They use like detergents. I don't know if you ever smelled a soap bar and it makes your nose itch.
Mm-hmm.
Then you know that they're using some sort of detergent.
Yeah. Oh.
So I don't use any of that. And the oils are soft. And so you hear us say, or soap makers say, do not leave your bar in the shower sitting in water because it will muddle, it'll get soft.
Right.
You don't do that.
Yeah. Well, and I'm just to prove why I'm in the shower. So I'm going to reach up here over my head. Oh, look, I have a shampoo bar from Diva Triva. Yeah, that's mango. I haven't even tried. Oh, that's good. I haven't even tried that one yet. That's a brand new one that I got the other day. And then I have several that are almost gone, which is my way of saying, I probably need to come see you soon because there's my conditioner bar that's just about gone. So the materials that you use then are really wholesome and really healthy.
Right. So you notice that, I'll use this green one here. Those little noodles in there.
Yeah. What are those?
All right. Okay, so they're coconut, derived from coconut, and it's a surfactant, but it's a healthy surfactant, and it's vegan based, of course. That's what gives it the creamy lather.
It is. Can I just say, I don't use the word luxurious very often, but it is a luxurious lather of hair shampoo. And I love it. And I probably use more than I'm supposed to because I just go, oh, this is so great that I've got all this soap in my head. I just love it. It's so sudsy.
Yes. It's called a sodium. I have to write this out so I can remember what to say. Sodium cocoa isothianate.
Sure. Easy for you to say.
So it's, it comes in and I have the bag here, and I ordered this in bulk. So it's not like anyone can probably make this, but it'd probably be expensive for them by the time they order the product and have it shipped to them. Right. It's pretty pricey, but I have two. So one is S, and I don't use any SOS. And SOS is not great for us to breathe or use, so I do not mess with that.
What is SLS?
It's a sodium lauryl sulfate.
Okay, and you don't use that?
I don't use that.
Right.
And this is the isothianate, and this is the actual noodle. Can't really see that, but
no, I can't. But I'll trust you because I love the noodles because that's what makes my shampooing experience so perfect.
And then that soft feel that you get, this is called the Pathanol. Like why is he still calling me?
It just keeps stealing your camera.
Okay.
And this is for the soft feel.
This is the soft feel, and actually gives us the vitamin that we need. Like it's provitamin B, but it gives it the silky.
There are vitamins in your shampoo?
This one is, yes. I also use oat extract, like a hydrolyzed oat extract for conditioning. And there's so much that goes into this, but
wow. That is amazing. I don't think I realized, I've never asked you what else in there. I was just excited to have homemade soap. I thought it was cool.
I also use a Diacon seed extract. And this right here is like a humectant. So that keeps the hair moist. And I use it for the conditioner bars for sure. And I also been sneaking it in my lotions, but this is some good stuff. So that's that. And the conditioner, okay, so I've been getting a lot of questions like, will these soaps and conditioner bars weigh my hair down? And
people ask me that too. And I had someone recently say, oh, I tried it one time. It wasn't yours. It was like they found a bar, they tried it, they didn't like it. And I'm like, you just tried one. You don't try one shampoo and quit. It's crazy.
So what it is, it's a concentrated bar, right? And it has, there's no water. So we're getting our water directly from the source. Right. So we're kind of taking out the water and we're adding, we're controlling how much water we put on our head, of course.
Right.
But you have to make sure that you rinse the product out thoroughly. also have to make sure that when you're using a conditioner bar, you're not leaving any of this behind. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to take it and drag it on your hair. You can actually wet your hands and then put this in your hand, and then you control how much goes on your hair. But you have to rinse it out. And are you rinsing it with hot water? Are you rinsing it with cold water?
Which should I be rinsing it with?
Well, conditioner should be cold water because you're washing with hot or warm, and you're opening up your cuticles. You're closing it with cold. And maybe, and I'm thinking if they're using hot water when they rinse, it's just gonna lay there. It's gonna lay on top of their hair, and then when they rinse it out, they're gonna be like, oh, it was too greasy. It weighed it down, and I don't like it. You have to properly wash and condition your hair.
I'm changing my whole shower routine tomorrow morning. Not today. I've already done it for today, but tomorrow I'm changing my whole shower routine. Well, you know, one of the reasons that I've, that I've been so excited to use your stuff is, and as you know, is because it's package free. And I've been trying to say to my friends, single-use plastic is a problem. And people are like, oh, but I gotta have shampoo. And I'm like, no, you don't, because you do have to have shampoo, but you don't have to have it in a bottle. And that's kind of that's one of the reasons that I've gotten to be such a devotee of you, is because I haven't bought a bottle of shampoo or conditioner for a couple of years now, because I was using your soap actually as a shampoo for a while. And then you started doing the shampoo and conditioner, and I was like, winter chicken dinner, I'm just using that. So
it lasts longer.
Oh, it really does. And it really is, I'm going to say it again, luxurious. And so it's just, I love it. And it really is, everything in here smells so good. That's why I'm in the shower, because everything in here smells so good. And it's just, and now that I know all the things that are in it, I'm even more excited about it.
Yes. And I don't use shea butter because some folks do not like shea butter. They consider it as a form of latex. I hear that a lot. So if they have any irritants to latex, they may have irritants to shea butter. So
I did not know that.
I'll use like a mango butter or a coconut butter, and I'll use light oils that are, I have avocado oil, and I try not to use almond oil because of folks that may have allergic reactions to nut. Oh, see,
smart. I didn't even think about that. And in addition to the shampoo and conditioner, you also have a ton of soaps, and tons of fragrance. And, if you go to www.bohicketapothecary.com, which we will link you to, then you'll see all kinds of different things on there, which are just amazing. And I teased Teresa because after you told me, oh, I've got dragon's blood, and then acted like that was like the most ordinary thing in the world to say. That's like my new favorite smell now. It
smells so good.
Oh, it's delicious. I just sit it around the bathroom to make the house smell good. It's terrific.
Yes. I'd like to do that one in the fall, and fall is right around the corner.
It's like pumpkin latte. You only get it seasonally. Well, I'm going to stock up while you're doing your dragon's blood this fall.
Well, it's coming, yes. So, and then I have a new toy. It's just a bath bomb press. And I hate to show you my table, but just know that this table is not eaten on yet because in production mode. Let me see, can I turn this around?
Yeah, probably. Is it your laptop?
Oh, I see it. It's up top. Okay.
Oh, there you go. Look at it. It's like great. It is. It's like where things happen and a cup of coffee. It's where things happen and a cup of coffee.
So this is a bath bomb press, and these are, and I busted a bath bomb. But
but that looks like an explosion.
Yes. So that is
huge.
It's huge, and I was making these by hand forever.
Oh my gosh.
And so I finally decided to invest. I know we're in a COVID. I was like, but this is the perfect time for me to try to scale up because we don't know what our future holds.
Right.
Well, so this one is made by hand, and you don't see the seams quite as well as me using the bath bomb press.
Oh, right. But that's okay. But gosh, that's got to be a ton of time to do it by hand.
It is. And I'm going to also use this for my shampoo bars because I feel like it'll just look more professional around the edges.
Have you been doing those by hand?
Been doing these by hand, and I've been Yes. And let me show you if I can find it. Yeah, sorry. This is a
No, this is actually kind of fun. It's like seeing how the sausage is made.
Yes.
Only
And
you
like,
can never shampoo your hair with sausage because that will leave a greasy residue.
yes. Where is it? So I do have a hand press.
That is so wild. And so this answers my, look at all that. So this answers my next question, which is, you do all this at your house, right?
I do all this at my house, and I'm about to be bold and show you what it looks like down here.
Oh
and
my gosh.
Today is my cleanup day.
Oh my gosh. We're going to the basement. There's no telling what's down there.
Yeah. All right, and I have to do a ton of cleanup, but this is.
Oh, look at all that.
Yes, this is all the soaps that are curing, and these are.
How long do they have to cure?
6 weeks, like 4 to 6
Whoa.
weeks. Those are more shampoo bars.
Whoa.
So, and then here's some packaged things.
My gosh, it's like a factory.
So it's a hot mess. This is my soap cutter, and I gotta clean this up. But this is where I cut all the soap bars, and these are soaps that I just cut last night. So when I say I gotta clean up, I have to clean up so I can start other batches. Those are all the buckets I use.
Wow.
Soaps. I got the candles over here. Wow. So I have a lot of organizing. This is like my junk gather all. I need to get a hold of that. So I'm going to play some good music today, and I'm going to tackle this.
I'm going to get it done. So, okay, here's the important question. What's on your playlist?
So, I love me some Nina Simone.
Alrighty then.
I do. I listen to her. I love old music.
That's awesome.
And now I get a little. I love me a little R&B and in a selective group of rap, but it's
got to be particular. Yeah, I understand. Yes. I'm thinking of a halftime at Emory and Henry where we got the wrong version of something on the PA system. That was a bad day. So all of that, I didn't think about the fact that it would have to cure for 6 weeks. So you've got to really be planning ahead to do festivals or the farmer's market or anything.
Yes. So this is it.
That is amazing. I'm so glad you walked down there because this is really cool to see where you do all that and just how much space it takes. You got to have a little bit of room to make that happen.
Yes.
Holy cow. Well, so Treva, we're going to send people to your website and let them have a chance to do some shopping. Okay. Are there other facts about your products that you'd like folks to know? I mean, you do lotions. I started using your deodorant. It comes in a little jar. Been using deodorant. You've got candles. You've got the bath bombs. I'm a shower girl, so I don't use those. But
yes, let's see. Yeah, that's it. And it's gonna be some point where I'm gonna be like, just stick with the basic because I feel like it continues to grow.
Well, maybe you just need to hire somebody. Like you said, we don't know about the future. Maybe you can hire me to listen to Nina Simone and stack your soap.
Yes, but I absolutely love the deodorant paste. It comes in a small, like a compact, but it can last you up to a month or more.
Oh yeah, it's lasted me a long time.
Because all you need is just a dime size for your armpits, and it really works. So I don't know how active you may be, but if you go running, you're not going to smell any funk. If you're cutting grass, you're not going to smell any funk. So I'm very pleased with this. And this one product, I do use the Daikon seed oil extract in this as well. And there's the mango butter in here as well. Oh, neat. And then it's really soft. Oh, yeah. It's lovely. And then I'm leaving out the fact that I don't use any beeswax in this. So it is plant-based Candelilla wax and the deodorants. I just am so happy to have this conversation with you because it never occurred to me just how
how much more of, you know, my values that your products really do encompass. I hadn't thought about, you know, because I'm steering away from animal products these days.
Yeah.
And so that just makes me happy that you're doing all that.
I wish I can take it out of my food.
I'm working on that. I'm having to sneak back to fish a little bit, but I'm working on the other stuff. Yeah.
Yes. I don't think I can take away the seafood, and that I so much miss the seafood. We don't have enough of that around here.
I know, not fresh. This is one of those places where if you see a sign that says fresh seafood, you got to shake your head and go, really?
Yeah, but I do go to Food City. I do trust Food City.
Yeah, they got a nice little seafood spot in the back. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, Treva, this has been delightful, and I am so grateful that you would talk to us today about all this. And like I said, I'm gonna put this video up for folks to see today, and link you to your website. And so I hope you'll get a few visitors to look around and see what they might find.
It was fun, and thank you. I was a little nervous about it, but it felt so comfortable talking with you.
Well, you know, people talk to me in my shower all the time, Treva. This might, you know, I don't know why you would think this would be weird or unusual.
All right.
Treva, thank you so much for being part of our More Than a Vacation experience. Thank you very much.
All right. Have a good day.